Hey guys, welcome to Shatter School Studios. It's Raven Wolf, and welcome back. And here for another Friday deck list. We've gone over some spoilers. Some more spoilers have come out. I might do another spoiler episode talking about them, stuff like that. I'm gonna go ahead and ask if you enjoy my content. Please like and subscribe for more stuff in the future. And like and subscribe. Comment down below what you think of this deck, any commanders or cards you're looking for in the Aether Drift Magic the Gathering set that you might enjoy. And yeah, today's video, it's gonna be card themed. Like I did a Brea one, but more cards have come out. I'm strictly staying to like the cars and the motorcycles. I do have some giant stuff in here to help out with the deck as like an alternate win con. And I have a scary piece in the deck. But this deck is mostly made to go with exhaust abilities to start your engine mechanic and vehicles, animating vehicles, crewing them, stuff like that. So this deck isn't really going to be competitive. It's a casual, fun. If you like cars, here you go. There's cars in the deck. There's going to be different prints and arts for these cards coming out. I didn't go heavy with the land, so this deck's not very complicated. Let me see. What's the cheapest this deck would be? This deck is under $400 if you're ordering every single card that if you don't have any of these cards, and it's including the lands. So yeah. Oh, let's get into it. We'll go ahead and look at Loot. He is a 5-cost commander with Double Strike, Vigilance, and Haste. His first exhaust ability is 1 green, add 3 mana of any one color. So he's a one-time mana dork. Exhaust for 1 blue is draw 3 cards. So we have card draw on our commander. And we have a lightning bolt on our commander with 1 red exhaust. Tap 3 damage to any target. So yeah. Mostly I want to find ways to either copy his abilities, blink loot, put him back in my hands. Anything to reactivate his abilities. So yeah. Stuff like that is going to be what's going on here. Mostly all that. Going down to our Planeswalkers, we have Chandra, Spark Hunter. A being of combat on your turn. Choose up to 1 target vehicle you control. Until end of turn, it becomes a artifact creature and gains haste. So, basically we're going to be animating a vehicle for free. +2, you may sacrifice an artifact or discard a card. If you do, draw a card. We're going to be okay with getting our artifacts into the graveyard, getting them back out, stuff like that. 0, create a 3/2 colors vehicle artifact token with crew 1. -7, you get an emblem. Whenever an artifact you control enters, it deals 3 damage to any one target. So we're going to want her to get to the -7. And hopefully with the +2, we can draw the cards to keep her alive. Dreddy, Scrap Savant. +2, discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards. Again, filling her hand, filling her graveyard. -2, sacrifice an artifact. If you do, return target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Now we have graveyard recursion, and it's mostly going to be the +2 and -2 that we get. -10, you get an emblem with whenever an artifact card is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, return that card to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step. So again, more graveyard recursion if we get them there. Karn the Great Creator. Activated abilities of artifacts your opponent's control cannot be activated. It's a really mean card. We do not have Mycosynth Lattice in here to do that, to make the shut our opponents down. This is specifically to animate, do his +1. Until your next turn, up to 1 target non-creature artifact becomes an artifact creature with power and toughness equal to its mana value. So it will let us animate our vehicles without having to crew them if we have no creatures out. Going over creatures, we have Bellow, Bard of Brambles. During your turn, each non-equipment artifact and aura enchantment you control with mana 4 or greater is a 4/4 elemental creature in addition to its other types as indestructible, haste, and whenever this creature deals damage to a player, draw a card. So we're going to be animating more stuff for free with him out and hopefully drawing more cards. Bosch, Iron Golem. He's really expensive, but for 3 in a red, sack an artifact, deals damage equal to the sacrificed artifact's mana value to any target. We just have a robot. We're going to be throwing a car at people. If we can't drive our car, we will throw our car at people. Canoptic Spider. When a non-token artifact we control enters a creature or vehicles explicitly, we will draw a card. Crypto Thrall. Other artifact creatures we control have hexproof. It will protect them. Cyberdrive Awakener will, for 1 turn, make our non-creature artifacts into 4/4s. Gives them flying. Drafna, founder of Latnam. We can bounce an artifact to our hand, and then we can copy target artifact spell we control, so we can get even more vehicles out. Elvish Refueler. This one with loot goes really big. During your turn, as long as you haven't activated an exhaust ability this turn, you may activate exhaust abilities as though they haven't been activated. So this with loot means we can keep using them for mana or card draw or to shoot somebody. Emery is more graveyard recursion. She costs 1 less for each artifact we control. And when she enters, we mill 4, so we'll fill our graveyard. Tap, choose an artifact card in your graveyard. You may cast that card this turn. Again, we're going to be getting our cards back out of the junkyard and onto the battlefield, hopefully. Enthusiastic Mechanaut is here to make our artifacts cost less. Eternal Witness is graveyard recursion. Ethereum Sculptor makes artifacts cost less. Fill in with the third path. If we have an artifact, if we have a creature in our graveyard that we want a copy of, we can do that. Foundry Inspector makes artifacts cost less. Goblin Welder is graveyard recursion, but we have to sack an artifact to do it. Halana and Elena partners First Strike Reach. And being a combat on your turn, put X counters on one other target creature you control where X is their power, and it gets haste until end of turn. So we can buff up our vehicles that they crew, essentially. So yeah, we're going to be turning Halana and Elena into engine tuners. They're going to be making our cars hit a lot faster. Junk Divers for graveyard recursion. Karn Silver Golem. Mostly it's his second ability to pay 1. And we are going to animate a vehicle. Katsumasa the Animator. Again, he will animate vehicles. And on our upkeep, he will be putting counters on our vehicles. Metalwork Colossus, we're hopefully going to be casting it for free. We'll sack artifacts. Whoops, my mouse keeps wanting to scroll up. And he will sack artifacts, put them in the graveyard to get him back to our hand. Just a giant robot 10/10 that we want to cast for free. Badim, Console of Innovation. Artifacts you control have hexproof, will protect our vehicles. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control the artifact with the highest mana value or tied, we draw a card. So he's also card draw. Pyrowood Gearhulk. Vigilance Menace. When this creature enters, other creatures you control gain +2/+2 in Vigilance and Menace until end of turn, and damage cannot be prevented. So he's going to be hopefully a great Anthem win con if we want to swing out. Scrap Trawler is for graveyard recursion. Seedborn Muse is to untap our stuff so we can get blockers. Sita Varma Masked Racer. Again, with the Elvish Refueler, is to essentially let us keep making her bigger and making everything else bigger as well. Steel Overseer is going to put one counter on all our artifact creatures, especially if we were to crew our vehicles. Workshop Assistant is more graveyard recursion. And Xenagos, God of Revels, we want to crew our vehicles, go to combat, and then we're just going to double one of our vehicles' power and toughness until end of turn. Going to our instance, we have Heroic Intervention is to protect our stuff. Arcane Signet. Ashnod's Altar, if we need to like mana ramp, sack a creature to do a thing. Boommobile. When it enters, add 4 mana of any one color. You can only use it to activate abilities. And it has an exhaust ability that will let us burn. And put a counter on something. Commander Sphere. Cultivator's Caravan, again, is for mana. Daredevil Dragster. Basically, if it attacked or blocked, it will eventually kill itself, but it gets us cards. Dodgy Jalopy will basically, if we want to crew. Oops, I keep doing that. I don't know why. Where's that? There you go. It's gonna be a card that is as bigger as our like biggest cast creature. So like we have Bosch, that's an 8-drop. We have the giant robot Mailwork Colossus, that's an 11. So that with Dodgy Jalopy is an 11/5 with trample. Fleet Wheel Cruiser, it's a 5/3 for 4 that basically will come out swinging. Gastel Thrill Roller is the same thing. It's a 3-cost 4/2 trample haste that will come out. Getaway Car, that with our commander, like we crew the Getaway Car with our commander. When it attacks or blocks, we'll bounce our commander to our hand. Helm of the Host. So Helm of the Host with our commander, we're gonna make multiple copies of them that aren't legendary, and we can do their exhaust abilities. If we're wanting more of the cars that we crew and turn into vehicles, we can do that. There's a bunch of stuff with Helm of the Host to make copies of stuff that we want. Hull Drifter, when it enters, we draw 2 cards. Lumbering World Wagon. Its power is equal to the number of lands we control. And when it enters or attacks, we can go get a basic land. So yeah, this one's a ramp for us. Mecha Titan Core is if our opponent wants to board wipe and we want to at least save some of our artifacts or stuff like that, then basically, hopefully the Mecha Titan or the Mech Titan will get wiped away as well, and we still get like 5 this and 4 other pieces that we want. Midnight Crusader Shuttle. This, when we crew it attacking, our opponent will be forced to sack creatures or give us their creatures that we will then swing at them. Midnight Mangler. It's a 2-drop 3/3 that when it's not our turns, it will be a creature. Mizium Tank, when we cast a non-creature spell, oh look, here we have a bunch of them. It becomes an artifact creature and gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So it basically has prowess, but it gets animated. And it has trample. Oval Chase Dragster, it's just a trample haste 6/1. Possession Engine. Basically with this, we're going to be taking over our opponent's creatures. So yeah, that one's really good. Racer Scoreboard. Start your engines. Has the speed things. When it enters, we draw 2 cards and we discard 1. And if we have the max speed, spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, which is really good for us. Rangers Aether Hive. So we activate an exhaust ability like our commanders. We make a Thopter. And it's basically a 3/5 for crew 1 and vigilance, so it's pretty good. Rangers Refueler. When we activate an exhaust ability like our commanders, we'll draw a card. And then with the exhaust 4, it becomes basically a 4/4 permanently, because it doesn't say until end of turn. I think it should say until end of turn, or maybe that's why it becomes a permanent creature unless it leaves the battlefield. repurposing bay. This will let us sack our vehicles and go tutor for like one more cost vehicles. Rings of Bright Hearth. With this, if we activate our commander's ability or our planeswalker's abilities, basically we'll have a chance to copy the ability. Rocketeer Boost Buggy. When it attacks, we create a treasure token, so it will basically like start ramping us. 3 mana, becomes a creature permanently, put a counter on it. So it's not bad. Smuggler's Buggy, Hideaway 4. When it deals combat damage to a player, we'll get to cast the thing that hideaways for free. And if we do, it goes back to our hand. We have a Soul Ring. Spire Mech Cycle. We can tap another untapped vehicle we control. This one becomes an artifact creature, and we put a 1/1 counter on it for each mount in our vehicle we have other than this one. So this one will get really big and hopefully hit somebody. Thunderous Velocipede will anthem our vehicles and creatures will come play with counters. Otherwise, if they're like bigger creatures or vehicles, like cost-wise, then it will enter with 3 counters. So that goes really good. Unlicensed Hearse will graveyard hate our opponents, and it will also like make itself continuously get bigger. Veilheart Bike. When it enters, we gain 2 life, and it's also a mana rock. For our enchantments, we have Asceticism to protect all our creatures. Mechanized Production. Basically, it will make us copies of our artifacts. Parallel Lives is to double our tokens that we make with Feldon, Mechanized Production, Helm of the Host. And then we have Pia's Revolution. So if our artifacts go to the graveyard, we can burn our opponents or they go back to our hands. For our lands, I went, again, pretty cheap. We have Academy Ruins for Graveyard Recursion. Boseiju, who endures for removal. Command Tower. Exotic Orchard, of course. 5 forests. A Great Furnace. That's a list one, that's why. Adventurers Fair. 5 islands. A Mech Hangar. 5 mountains. Odawara Soaring City. Power Depot. Reflecting Pool. Seat of the Synod. Slagwood Bridge. Tree of Tales. Urza's Factory. Urza's Mine. Power Plant. Tower. And Workshop for ramp. So yeah, guys, that's, like I said, lots of ways to be. We're going to be cycling our vehicles in and out of the graveyard. Hopefully making some of them really big and hitting our opponents, because a lot of them have trample, or they can get flying, indestructible, stuff like that. And hopefully a balanced amount of card draw. So let's go ahead and get into it. We will play test. We will draw off our first card per turn. I'm immediately going to do Seat of the Synod. Next turn, we'll do a Forest, an Ethereum Sculptor. Next turn, we'll do a Mountain. We're going to tap. We're going to cast Steel Overseer for 1. And tap 2 for Junk Diver. So not a bad turn 3. Next turn, we're going to do a Mountain. I'm going to then go ahead and cast Mizzium Tank. I am then going to crew the tank. Tap. Add a counter. Add a counter. Add a counter. Add a counter. And then we'll go ahead and swing at an opponent who doesn't have flyers. Next turn, we'll do a Tree of Tales. We will cast Loot. I'm going to use Loot. He does have haste, so we could probably swing with him. Say, what we'll do is we'll crew, do this, add a counter, add a counter, add a counter, add a counter, and we'll swing. Next turn. So for 4 mana, we can do this, but I don't have... I do. Alright, so we'll tap Tree of Tales, tapping Loot for... We need blue mana anyway, so he makes 3 blue mana. So all I need is 1 more. We'll do that for Hole Drifter, and when it enters, we draw 2 cards. I am then going to go ahead... We'll crew Mizzium Tank. Then we're going to crew Bellow. No, we're going to cast Bellow, which will make our Hole Drifter a 4/4 with flying. We're going to tap Steel Overseer for a counter, This gets a counter, and because I had cast it on creature spell, it's now a whatever. And we're just going to swing with these guys. Turn 7. There we go. Possession Engine. We just don't have the 2 blue for it. But we are going to Urza's Tower. And then let's go ahead and we'll just kind of cast Asceticism, which will give our stuff hexproof. Hole Drifter is a creature immediately, and so is Asceticism. Does it become artifacts? No, it stays its type, I believe. So, again, we'll crew Mizzium Tank. It's a +1/+1. Oh, and it doesn't need it. It doesn't need to be crewed because I'm stupid. So then we'll do Steel Overseer's ability. Add a counter. Add a counter. Add a counter. Add a counter. Swing with our stuff. Yeah. So yeah, not bad. Let's go ahead and restart it. It's a pretty bad hand, to be honest, because I need at least another land to do anything. And it has to be a red land, or we are not doing anything. So let's go ahead and draw. I kind of did it to myself, so we'll do a Tree of Tales. Next turn. We'll do an island. Next turn. Not good, guys, but you know what? Here. Daredevil Dragster. Next turn. This is not good. We'll do a Junk Diver. Can Junk Diver crew this? Nope, it needs crew 2. So what I should have done was Mecha Titan Core. No, it also needs crew 2. This is not good. Draw. Here we go. That. Crew. Swinging. Adding a velocity counter. Next turn. There we go. Foundry Inspector. We'll crew again. Yeah, this one's a bad one. But, again. This one's a kind of okay, I guess. Not really. We don't have any colored mana, so let's mulligan that. No lands on that one. Only have 2 lands. 2 colorless lands. I'm just going to say screw it because I think it's funny. So we're going to draw a card. Not good. So we're going to Inventor's Fair into a Soul Ring that does nothing. Next turn. Scrap Trawler. So we turn 2 to 3/2. Next turn. Well, Daredevil Dragster. Next turn. Wow, we are not getting any lands, huh? Cool. We're going to swing with the Daredevil Dragster, adding a counter to it. Next turn. Holy crap. A forest. We have lands. So I have 4 mana. What can I do with this 4 mana? You know, we'll do Helm of the Host. And it will crew. swinging this at it. And at the end of combat, we will sack it, drawing 2 cards. Oh my gosh, it's a land, but we have to discard. We're discarding Possession Engine. Next turn is turn 6. Oh my gosh, we play. We're going to do what I think is funny. We will equip Helm of the Host to Scrap Trawler, going to combat, making a copy with haste, swinging the copy. Hopefully it will, hang on, lesser mana value, so it doesn't work, but you know what? We'll leave it as a blocker then. Next turn. Not good. We're going to do Emery. Then 1, 2, 3. Getaway car. Next turn, I need more blue. Alright, so I have 4, 7, 8 mana. For 3 mana, we're going to do Metalwork Colossus. So we now have a 10-10. So yeah, this is just funny. Let's go ahead and restart. Hopefully we get another pop-off hand. This one's not bad. Draw for turn. Play a mountain. Next turn, Academy Ruins. Next turn, ooh, a Repurposing Bay. We don't need it right now. Well, that was Inventor's Fair. No, we'll do Urza's Tower. Getaway car. Next turn, Power Plant, Crypto Thrall. Next turn, Academy Ruins. Tap these 3 for Workshop Assistant. Here we go. Yeah, that'll work. Next turn. Well, this is not a good hand, man. So we'll 4 colorless mana. Enters, we draw 2, and we have to discard 1. I want to discard Junk Diver. And we're going to play a land for turn. Next turn. Ooh. He's a pilot, right? Or is he still a Beast Noble? Oof. We still have Mech Hanger, though. So we can do Mech Hanger. Cast Repurposing Bay. So yeah. One more. This one's not great. Actually, no, it's okay. We have our Arcane Signet. We'll draw. So we're going to do a mountain. Next turn, Island, Arcane Signet. Automatically, we're ahead. Next turn, Power Depot will enter tapped. It has a counter, which is modular 1. Next, we'll do Lumbering World Dragon. No, World Wagon, my bad. Lumbering World Wagon. We're going to go get a basic land. View library. We're going to grab a forest. Put it on the battlefield. Next turn, we could cast Loot, I guess. But is Loot what we want to do? Because I might want a creature. I need a crew 4. So we could do this one, which will make it a 6/6. No, it doesn't become a creature. So what we could do with our 5 mana is Foundry Inspector and Latnam to make our artifacts cost less. And then we can crew the World Wagon, swing a 4/4 World Wagon on the attack, review library. I'm going to grab another mountain, I guess, to balance out what we have. Or even, there's my mountain. Mountain when they're battlefield tapped. And yeah, so now it'll be a 5/4. that hopefully will hit somebody or make them chump block. Next turn. Easy enough, we'll cast our commander. That's the fastest thing we can do. He does have haste, but I want to save his exhaust spells for the Ranger's Aether Hive to make the Thopters. But we can also do this on our turn, our opponent's turn. So our opponent's turn, we'll tap Arcane Signet and we draw 3. That's pretty good. Then we draw on our turn. We're going to use Power Depot to cast a Soul Ring. Oh no, Soul Ring casts for free because of Foundry Inspector. Okay, so we're going to do Power Depot and a Forest to cast Ranger's Aether Hive. Then we're going to do 1 blue for a Midnight Mangler. We'll tap Arcane Signet for green, making 3 mana. Adding a 1/1 Thopter token. Right? It makes Thopters? What? I guess because it's a new card. So yeah, it doesn't. Here we go. There you go. It makes us a 1/1 right here. This will be our 1/1. And let me see. We have 2 4 mana left. That with this 4 mana, I guess we'll leave a red open and we'll cast the Midnight Crusader Shuttle. And then we'll crew the World Wagon. Swing with World Wagon. On the World Wagon attack, I'm going to go get another Forest. Comes in play tapped. Close and shuffle. And this is turn 5, by the way. This is a turn 5, but luckily we had Arcane Signet to fix our mana. And we had card draw. Next turn. Ooh, that's good. Except I do have double blue. So we'll do blue, blue, and red, red. And I'm going to put Mechanized Production on the World Wagon. Because if all the basic lands are here, we're going to be drawing in the gas. Hopefully. So we've done the card draw and we've done that. So we're going to go, actually no. We'll do this. We'll do it like this. Power Depot will tap for colors. Then we'll tap the red for loot to burn something for 3, making another 1/1. Then I guess what we could do is how do we want to start crewing stuff? Here, I'm gonna do Soul Ring for and a Forest for Smuggler's Buggy, and we hide away Forest. We look at the top 4, and we put one on the battlefield. I'm gonna put Smuggler's Buggy in there. How do we send this to the bottom? Shift L. Okay, so Shift L L. There we go. We have 1 green that won't help us do anything. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and swing with the lumber thing that they'll probably block at this point, but on the attack, I'm gonna go grab an island. Close. But it's getting bigger. Next turn, what we could do is Soul Ring and Power Depot to cast the Dragster. On our upkeep, we make a copy, right? Yeah, we make a copy. Boop. That on the ETB, we're gonna go get a basic land. It's gonna be the first one I see. Here, island. Close. There's 15 basic lands in here, so. But yeah, turn 7. This is what we're working with. This is a possibility. Like I said, turn 5 was really good for us. We had many options, and we could cast anything in our hands. But yeah, that's how this deck runs, guys. It's all car themed. I especially like some of the Duskmourn cars. They look like old, muscle cars. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoy everything, guys. I'll see y'all again next time. Bye-bye.